This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome to another episode of the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. Today we have a fantastic neighbor to introduce you to. Chris Romero is the owner of Kitchens for You. Chris, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thank you, Dory. Thank you for inviting me on this. Thank you very much.
I'm excited for this. So let's start out by sharing with the listeners a little bit about your business.
Well, we're a kitchen and bath renovation company where we supply and install all the products that we offer. I like to keep it like that because it offers me to be able to give them the turnkey warranty that we provide. So, like, if there's any issue with any products that we install during after the renovation, there's no delay in getting the items addressed. So, we do a lot of bathrooms and kitchens in the Stafford area, in the surrounding areas also, but we've been very fortunate to stay busy just right here in Stafford.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about your background. Tell us your journey, how you got into this.
All right. Well, I started out really young, actually. I was probably 12, 13 years old when I actually, my dad put a hammer in my hand. My dad retired from Whirlpool. He did 20 years there, but he would do a lot of weekend work and side jobs, and so he would, obviously I was the oldest son, and so I had to go to work with him. And so I would assist him in all these renovations, but as I was there, I realized how much I really liked, working with my hands. Mm-hmm. And so he introduced me to a lot of different areas of construction, from roofing, from framing, drywall, flooring. So I got exposed to that very young and realized that, I really enjoy this quite a bit. So I really looked forward to going to work, Mm-hmm. So as I got into high school, they had trade programs back there. I was in Findlay, Ohio. It was the biggest city I was in a small town called Lipsick, Ohio, where I was raised. And so I went to trade school my junior and senior year. So I would go to school half a day and I'd build houses half a day. And so, I really enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, I actually enjoyed going to school, at least when I was building, And so I did that, my junior, senior year, and we got to work with a master carpenter. So he taught me a lot during there. And, we had to pass the tests and exams just like anything else to make sure we, qualified at the end. And then when I got out, I always knew I was going to join the military. That was a goal of mine while I was in high school. But what was a plus on it was when I realized they had construction, 51 Bravos, what was a carpentry masonry. And so when I joined the military, I was in the reserves prior to that, 3 years first, but I was in construction in the military. And so really, I was the best of both worlds too. So I was in the military and I did construction. So I knew from the beginning, this is what I wanted to do. So, during that process of time from when I was young to where I'm at now, I've been able to be associated with a lot of knowledgeable construction workers, carpenters and plumbers, and worked with them over the years. And so it's, it's been a great journey, especially when you enjoy what you do. It's like one biggest thing is, everybody said, how do you know you want to do construction? I said, well, you got to have a passion for it, obviously, because it's not when you look for, jobs that pay, good money, that's not on the top list, So I said, you really got to have a passion if you want to do construction. Obviously, I don't consider it a job. I could, it's something I enjoy doing every day. So, it led me to where I'm at today, and, I have no complaints.
That's amazing. And you do beautiful work. Listeners, check out their Facebook page and look at their before and afters. Every time I'm looking at your Facebook, I'm thinking of all the projects I need to do and how I want to redesign my kitchen.
Right. And that's the other plus is, like, over the years, I know what I want, and when I was younger and working in the field, I always wanted to get it right. Try to get as perfect as you can. That didn't matter who I was working for or how much they were paying me. My main priority was to make sure the job was right. And so when you go from a piece of paper to something built, it's pretty nice to see it done when you have it in your mind at first. So that's been a benefit for me also, because I have the same vision of what I want in every area. So that's where I surround myself by people that know how to bring that vision together. So that's what you see a lot in our Facebook and websites, that before and after, is a team of trade partners that have just as much pride in the work as I do, and help me bring the vision I have in my head, from paper to what you see. So I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, yeah. It's so important to have the right people around you and have the right partners. It's a
Most
reflection
definitely.
on everything. Yeah.
Most definitely.
So, yeah, what would you say that there are any myths or misconceptions around your industry?
I mean, I mean, I guess there would be one. I mean, a lot of times, they always say a lot of the carpenters or construction workers are, maybe guys that couldn't get a job and they had to do this type of
Mhm.
work and stuff like that. I've heard that over the years, and that's just part of it. I mean, it's construction, obviously renovations, but there is companies and groups of people out there that really have a passion for what they do, so it's not, they're not all like that,
Mhm.
versus myself. I like I said before, I really enjoy what I do. I look forward to going to work, and then it's the creation of something, that what it looks like before pictures, and then you get the afters. I mean, there's a lot of hard work that
Mhm.
goes in it, with a lot of individuals part of this company to make that happen. And so, I really don't believe that's, I don't like hearing that, but I do hear it at times, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, there's probably been companies out there that have kind of unfortunately pushed that language also, but
Yeah.
I think there's more companies that really have pride in work than there is the ones that don't.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. So you mentioned that you really love what you do and you enjoy your work, but when you're not working, what are you doing for fun?
Well, see, that's hard because I love working. That is fun, but no. But yeah, when I am not, trying not to focus on business, which is hard not to do, you're constantly thinking about it. But
Mhm.
I enjoy spending time with my family, obviously, and my daughters, my wife, and my grandkids. So we definitely try to, do things on the weekends together when we have the opportunity. And obviously we go to the Virginia Beach once a year. We've been doing that with my oldest daughter since they were kids. So it's kind of been a routine that everybody looks forward to. And now that I get to do it with my grandkids, it's even more amazing.
Mhm.
And me and my wife, I'm a big Dallas Cowboy fan. I don't know how that'll go over everybody, but I'm a big Cowboy fan. And so me and my wife, we go once a year. We go to Dallas and we watch a game. And so it's our time a little way. We'll see some family down there also when we do. So we definitely try to make some time, because I think it's very important. Because as fast as time goes now, you got to try to enjoy life with your family, especially.
Mhm.
That's why you work so hard.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how special for your grandkids. They're gonna have that memory of going to the beach every year. I love it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta recharge. I love it. So, can you describe a life challenge or a hardship that you feel you've come out on the other side even stronger for going through it?
Well, I think anybody that owns a small business can relate to where, running a business in general is challenges,
Mhm.
every day. You're confronted with a situation that you got to, handle. Running a business, anyways, there's books out there on how to run a business and do this and that, but really, I think the best knowledge you get is, unfortunately, when you don't get it right. You know,
Mhm.
Mistakes. I don't really consider mistakes as a. I mean, obviously, you don't want to make mistakes, but I don't consider it too much of a bad thing, because I believe
Mhm.
if you correct it and you learn from it, it's knowledge. You know, and so all the years that I've been involved with construction, and all parts of the construction, there's definitely been ups and downs. And there's been some times where it's just like, you're really questioning if you want to continue to move forward. But that's where your passion comes in. You keep moving forward.
Mhm.
And so that, for me, some of the stuff that didn't go as quite as planned, I definitely do my homework on it to make sure I don't repeat those situations. And so it's really providing me with a lot of knowledge,
Mhm.
at least putting some type of plan together in reference to at least forecast as much as you can, and try to address every situation that comes your way. But you have to really understand that there's going to be more challenges. That's just part of being a small business owner. So, just like I said, it's just make the mistakes I have made, I consider it knowledge because I've fixed it, and it's opened doors for me.
Yeah. That's so wise. Your many years of experience adds to your expertise, and your customers are much better for you going through it. So
Yeah.
I
So
love
you
that.
have an answer for everything because you've been through
Right.
it.
Exactly. So what is something that we haven't talked about yet that you want the listeners to know about your business?
Well, I mean, it's like I said, I try to, even as a renovation company or as a contractor, I kind of try to title it a little differently sometimes. Is that we're a company that provides a service, and this service is obviously from start to finish. We have somebody to help you and hold your hand through the whole process. And at the same time, when we bring our trade partners in to do the renovations, these are all qualified, experts in their field. Our licensed plumbers, our licensed electricians, our floor technicians, even my crew that does my demo. That's what he does for a living. So he's very professional at that. Because I want every stage to be as clean and as professional as we go through it. So that's where I say like our company is, like I mentioned, is more of a company that provides a service of professionals to get this vision that you want completed and make it the best experience that we can have. Another way I've kind of explained a little bit is kind of like when you go on vacation, and that week you're there, that resort or that place, they make you feel like you're a movie star. They park your car, they make your bed. Mr. Romero, is there anything I can help you with this week? You just feel special that week. And that comes from their whole staff. And so that's something that I try to provide with the team we got, and our team does a very good job from start to finish. And from Sheila, where she handles all my scheduling and billing. So any questions in that part, she's there. She got somebody to give you an answer. When it gets to the selection process, when you have to pick all the colors and countertops and things that seem like be overwhelming sometimes, Lori, she handles all the selections for you. And then if you have any questions, you can email her, call her anytime. She's there for you. And then once we finally start the project, Romero, my project manager, he runs all the jobs, keeps the communication with the owners, knowing what's going on every day, where the trades are at, and then just making sure that we make it as comfortable as possible because it is a renovation, and the kitchen is usually the heart of the home. So once you're disturbing that, it affects the whole house. So, that's the biggest thing, is that I want the experience to be as best it can. So that's why we, try to make sure we hold your hand and we're there for you through the whole process.
I love that. That's such a great analogy. I love that. Awesome. So if the listeners want to get in touch with you or learn more about Kitchens for You, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Definitely go to our website, kitchensforyou.com. There's, obviously a lot of information there. It tells you a little bit more about me also. So that way, you know who you're working with before you even come to my office. That's why Stafford Living has been such a great move for me and what you've done for the company, because I've had, when I do my presentations, owners have come here and they already know history on me because they've read about the articles. So I think it's great. But definitely go on our website. There's a section on there where you can request a meeting, and I'll get an email, or the office will get an email, and they'll reach out to you and schedule an appointment for me to come out.
Wonderful. Chris, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today and sharing Kitchen for You with all of us. I appreciate you being my guest.
And thank you. It's been great.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com. That's fxbgneighborspodcast.com. Or call 540-534-4618.